Hello there, welcome to another unboxing video from me, Joel at Devon Dice. This is a Kickstarter game that just came through the door and I'm really excited about getting this. Now, no name on the front, but you can already tell it's a Marvel game. If I turn it to the side, you'll be able to see its full name. So it's Marvel Dice Throne. So this is from Roxley Games and USopoly, and this is basically, kind of hate to say it, a Yahtzee style game. You roll dice, you make some combinations, you deal damage to your opponent. So you can see here it's 2 to 6 players. It plays in 30 minutes and age 8 years and upwards, which is quite cool. They've gone through all the testing on that. A little description at the top. So, welcome to Dice Throne, a heart-pumping, fast-paced game of skillful card play and dice manipulation that will have your game nights cheering. Roll your hero dice 3 times, activate abilities, upgrade abilities, and play action cards to surprise your foe, defeat your opponent, and take the throne. And, of course, this being a Kickstarter, this is a special box. You can already tell how fat it is. And I should have said, you get 8 characters in this. You can see all the characters: Black Widow, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man Miles Morales. That's a surprise one. Really excited about that. Scarlet Witch, Loki, and Thor. So not all the usual characters you find in Marvel Avenger type games, but there is some standard ones, of course. And as always, get a promo pack of cards. So there's 3 different types. These are randomizer cards. So basically, if no one knows what they want to play, you can randomize the cards how you like. Then we've got an extra set of cards for each character that they can add straight into their decks as a little kind of extra boost. Does no difference. And then we've got special mystic cards or mythic cards or whatever they call them. Look how shiny they are. And these are, they say, probably a little bit OP. I don't think they said you should play with them as a 2-player game, but maybe use them as a like 3 or more players, maybe. And then there's a little rules instruction there. So let's get the lid off. Oh, that's a struggle to get that off. I'm going to turn it like this because it looks better on the screen. So originally, Dice Throne has been around for a while. There's already 2 seasons out of it, and they've made up their own IP for the original 2. There's also Dice Throne Adventures, where it's kind of like a dungeon crawl setting. Sounded quite interesting. Never been interested up until they said, here's Dice Throne, but with an Avengers theme. I'm just looking down the side. That's quite cool. I got it indented in the side here. So each tray here, and take this out, and you've got some got a rule book, and there's lots of tokens that each character has. Cardboard's quite thick. You see there how thick. It's pretty decent cardboard, and it pops out very easily. Now, I cheated. I went online and I found Rodney Smith's how to play this game video up on YouTube, and just watched that, and it is pretty simple game. So you might find there's some clarification rules that you might need to go through in here, but it is pretty simple setup. And at the back there is like, so how to play 4 players, 3 players, other modes. So there is some other modes at the back which will help you out. So we'll go through these quickly. So look at this, this is amazing. So we've got Black Widow, instantly front cover, you see who it is, and that's a player board. That is standard. Amazing. Each character gets a leaflet. There's backstory on here, there's some rules clarification on here, component content, what she should have, and then these are special abilities for like the tokens that you can see that get placed on it. Every person gets a combat dial, and it goes up to 15. That's the most combat points you can have. And then you got health counter, which everyone I believe starts at 50, and you can only go up to 60 at the max, but we'll see. Every character gets their own set of dice. Admittedly, it is a D6 that goes from 1 to 6. 6 usually being their special signature symbol. But the icons really help. Get out of board. Really help you instantly see what you want to get. Okay, so instantly see what you want to get and what you can't get on it. So that's quite cool. And then every character gets their own deck of cards.
A few moments later.
So that was a pain to undo, so we're going to quickly go through. So cards can do something different. You have to pay, what's it called, combat points with, so you can add these up, and you need to pay to play cards. You need to pay combat points with this up here, and it depends what it is, like instant or dice roll manipulation, probably. Only after being attacked, roll 2 dice, blah 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 on that game. So we've got some dice, and then these are upgrades or main action cards. Sorry, these are main action cards, I should say. Purple are passive powers, green are defense powers, and then here we have the upgrades. So on your board, so here we got grapple, and here we have grapple 2, which actually adds another ability on the bottom. So if you can pay the upgrade, you can put this card down and that overdoes that. And then there's like a reference card that she gets to use. So that's just Black Widow's cards, which look quite awesome just for Black Widow. Everything has its own place, and that's the promo card, which I'm going to add in to her deck. as it is. So that goes in there, that goes in there. She will get some tokens. So you could take the tokens of each character, pop them out into their own section, or just in this gap here. When they fit in there, I don't know. There's a bit too much. Could just leave them in there. Card on top. Card on top. Board on top of that. Lid goes down and clips down, and then you just slot it back into place, which is awesome. Okay, so that's all of them. They're all pretty much the same. Doctor Strange, the dice are the same, the tokens will be the same. Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Scarlet Witch, Loki, and Thor. And I need to show you Thor's actually, because Thor's got something special in it. I mean, the board's the same. Each character is different, and there's actually a skill base on each character, and you can usually find that skill rating. Complex editor. So here it says, basically it says 4 is a 3 in complexed. And then with 4, this is really the only special thing that comes out of it is you get a solid Mjolnir. You actually, if you're playing 4, keep throwing this and it lands on opponents, and you keep summoning it back, and you keep doing damage and gaining combat points, and it's really it looks quite fun. So I look forward to playing 4 in this. I mean, it does come with a Mjolnir kind of token, but that's because probably retail boosting. So you will be able to buy the characters in 3 separate boxes, I believe. So there's like 2 boxes that have 2 characters in, and 1 box coming with 4 characters in. So you will be able to buy this on retail very soon, I think. Christoph at Meeples Corner has already got pre-orders up, so you can go there if you really want this. But this box, this holder, is for Kickstarter only. So see, unless you can buy it direct from the publishers or late backing or something like that, then the only other way is just to buy it in retail, and there will be no difference. I don't know if you'll get these containers, but you'll get the characters, and the characters are no different. The only probably thing is these promo cards will be different, and you won't get the solid Mjolnir in the 4 set, I believe. So that being said, it's not that bad, and I'm really excited to play this. So hoping to play it actually this weekend, but the family's been quite ill. Not with COVID, it's not yet, but yeah, everyone's on their deathbeds at the minute, so just been kicking around on myself. So I hope you enjoyed this unboxing of Marvel Dice Throne, and yeah, I hope you check out the other videos of what I've unboxed and any reviews I've done. Thank you for watching, and good night. Okay. So after doing the edit on the video and reviewing what I did, I thought it was actually a bit lackluster effort of trying to portray the characters that you're getting in this box. I mean, there's 8 characters in this collection. You'll be able to buy all 8 characters when they come to retail, but they're all very unique characters. They all work quite differently to each other as I've now played most of them, I believe. So I'm going to just quickly give you a brief overview of watch each character go, so you can now get the ideas. Actually, yeah, I want to play this character, I want to be this, and so yeah, you can see. So let's have a look what you get inside each one, starting with Black Widow. So actually Black Widow, even though she's actually has no powers herself, she's actually quite strong. She gets starting tokens, which is clarified on the bottom. She gets these starting tokens, which she can use to pay for upgrades on cards instantly without paying for them. So she gets like these put onto her board straight away. Yeah, so what I can gather, she was actually quite strong and making a good stand against even the other superpowers. Also, you can see what I've done is sleeved these cards, because basically they do get manhandled quite a lot, or handled, I should say, quite a lot by players, and because I mean it's cost me quite a few bits. I just want to protect my cards. So you can see that the trays have actually been designed to take sleeve cards quite easily. I mean, they're split over the two sides, but that's a good thing. They thought of that, and everything else seems to fit quite neatly if you move it around a bit into place. So Black Widow, she hits hard, and she has the power of upgrading quite well. And then she also has, I should say, this time bomb mechanism. So you should give this to a character if she wins it. On their turn, they have to roll a dice. If they don't get a 6, they flip it over. Next time they do it again, if they don't get a 6, they discard it and they get 4 damage. If they do get a 6, then they actually just discard it without taking damage, because they defuse the bomb, which is quite cool. So that was that. Doctor Strange. He is basically spells. You see here has these spells in his deck, and when he can put a spell out, he has a spot for them, and he actually starts with a spell, and when he places a spell on the position, it will usually have a preparation ability. Let's see if I can find one here. So this, I think this is the one. Yeah, I think this is his starting card anyway. So you got prepare effect. So you deal 1 damage to an isolated source of indefensible damage to an opponent. So you basically do some damage to someone. And then when you get the cast ability effect, you add 1 damage to an attack and then return this card to your hand. Not all cards get returned to your hand. This one gets returned each time. So then you'll see here, you have like cast a spell. So if you've got spells in your book here, you can cast it. You got prepare a spell. So if you've got a spell in hand, you can put that onto the spot, and then you get your preparation spell, and so on and so forth. So yeah, Doctor Strange is all about spells. What we did find is that he builds up combat points, and it was like, well, where can I use these? So unless we missed something, I don't know. I mean, he's got these that he could use, combat points, but like the spells don't cost anything. So maybe he just wasn't getting spells out. I didn't play with him. A friend of mine played with him. So yeah, I have to see myself how well Doctor Strange does. But yeah, he was just building up spells after spells, and not knowing what to do with them. Black Panther is quite a simple character to use. He has basically a vibranium suit. He collects these energy tokens. Every time he gets hit by any kind of damage, he gets a token. Now you can spend those tokens to do 1 attack, increases damage upon attack by 1. Or if he lets them stack up to their full potential of 8, then they will instantly release all that energy. They get 2 combat points, draw 2 cards, and do 5 undefendable damage, which is actually pretty awesome. Then he has his vibranium suit, which he can put on. The players with this token may prevent free incoming damage. This token is it cannot be transferred, so it cannot be taken by some players. So yeah, vibranium is quite cool. But he is all about attacking, putting on his suit, building up energy. So he's actually quite a simple character to play. Captain Marvel is actually another good character to play. It was a little bit confusing at first, but she's all about attacking again. She has these tokens, which she will gain. And then when the upkeep phase, you look at how many she's got of these, and she does that many damage to everyone around the table, and then she'll discard one. So she starts draining her power when she has these, but then it can get them back again. These are just a attack modifier. So if you've got these tokens, you roll 2 dice, pick a value of the dice, and you add that value to one of your attacks you're already doing, which is pretty cool. And then this one is just for defense. So yeah, she's another simple character to use, and was making doing a lot of damage when she got those. Miles Morales is meant to be simple, but players find him complicated to use because there's a lot of instructions to go with his powers. So he's got this one, which is basic, as I can understand, is an extra attack roll. He's got this one, which basically webs up players, and then attacks on them become undefensible. And then he's got his invisibility token. If he's got this token, he can roll defense against undefendable attacks, which is good. But it's sometimes it's just a word and they put on here, which really confuses people. I know they're trying to portray the rules very well, but yeah, it takes a bit sometimes for people to work out. But yeah, he's a nice character to use. It's nice to have like Miles Morales instead of the normal Spider-Man. And he actually has 2 defense role types he can choose from, which is different to the others. Scarlet Witch is not a great character to give inexperienced players to use. She's quite complicated. I mean, you look at the rules on the back here and you look at all this, there's a lot going on, and trying to understand it took a while for us to piece together. And I still don't think we've got kind of it fully grasped. There's like this one that can be used in 2 different ways, either taking positive statuses from other players' leaflets or inflicting a reality warp on someone. And this reality warp basically, so reality warp is if Miles Morales was rolling for his offensive roll, he would have to discard a token, reality warp, take one of Scarlet Witch's dice and replace it for one of his dice. So he's still rolling forward dice, but his symbols won't match up. So he wouldn't be able to get 5 here. He wouldn't be able to get 5 here because the symbols won't match. He wouldn't get 5 here. He would still be able to do a small straight, large straight because it's still got numbers on it, but he's restricted to what like certain attacks he can do because he's got someone else's dice, which actually is a cool effect. Really does heighten like Scarlet Witch's powers, and it only happens that once. So whenever someone's got a reality warp, they've got to take one of Scarlet Witch's dice. Manipulation is slightly weird, as you can change the value of a 2, 4 and a 6 dice up or down by 1, so you can, I don't know, help you get a straight or things like that if you need something. And then crackle, basically, so basic crackle does is once someone's done their offensive roll, you can spend a crackle and adds 1 damage per negative positive effect on their hero board. They're trying to, it's really hard because they're trying to word it, because anyone can have these. A lot of these tokens can be taken by other people, and they're trying to word it so like towards the player, and you've got to take into effect, so it could be any tokens on the player board. Like Loki, which we'll come to, can actually cover up names, so you can't use that attack, which then gains as a token for the crackle effect on the bottom. So Scarlet Witch got a lot of power going on. It's just really complicated to understand it if you've not played the game before. So yeah, not a good character to use, or not played a lot of kind of card like manipulation, power manipulation games, i.e. like Magic or things like that. Loki is a cool character. I really do like how Loki plays. It's quite standard, except for there's a few naughty little tricks. He's got illusion. Illusion has 3 different cards. So basically, if you've got this token illusion on you, and this cannot be used by other people. When a player attacks you, you can discard the token, and then you present them with these 3 cards. You can shuffle them up however you want, and then present them with these 3 cards. They will pick one, so that pass all success. So Loki prevents half incoming damage. Rounded up, Loki may spend another illusion token. So he could spend another illusion token and have another go and see if they pick again, or they got success. Loki prevents 0 incoming damage. Attacker gains bag of tricks, and Loki may spend another illusion token. Or there's a fail. Loki prevents all infinite incoming damage. So yeah, that's a kind of it's a little bit of a gamble what they pick, and most of the time you're going to take damage, because they seem to know not to pick this card for some reason. But that's the trickster in him, which is quite cool. Bag of tricks is quite cool. You roll for a surprise, so you just discard it, and then you roll a dice and you get what it says on there. So that's quite a good effect. And then spellbound is basically you wouldn't do it to a Loki board, but you'll do it to someone else's board, where you'll cover up someone's name, the name of their attack. So if they're constantly using the same attack again, it could be quite good to cover that up. And it prevents them from using that attack on their next turn. And once they finish with their turn, they can remove that away. So yeah, it's a little bit of a hindrance for him. And then his defense is just roll 1 dice and then gain what it is on the side. So it's quite a cool character. I quite like using Loki. He's quite fun. Just say he's quite complicated. I mean, he is kind of complicated, but I mean, it is actually quite simple at the end of the day. Let's put these all back. Last of all, and there's actually really nothing special with 4. It is just, I think what really stands out is the metal hammer. You do get a token, if I can remember where it is. Is it underneath here? Yeah, so retail versions will get this token, but Kickstarter backers get this one. So this is just a special thing. Is you can discard cards from his hand. If he discards a card, he can throw Mjolnir, I think that's how you say it. Throw Mjolnir at a player. Don't literally throw this because this could hurt, but basically it's a throw action. So you give it to a player, they put it on their board, and they take one indefensible damage. And then you could discard another card, or at any point you could discard another card, and you can return Mjolnir back to your hand, and you get one of these tokens on here, which are pretty effective. They allow you to, so those allow you to boost abilities or spend to draw cards. So you spend 3 of those to draw up an extra card. You've got this token here, which is basically, with this token, can make your attacks indefensible. So if you've got this token, you roll a dice. If it's a 1 to 3, then it's an indefensible attack, which is quite cool. And then this is basically explaining Mjolnir at the bottom, how she works. There is chances, there is cards, and there is powers on your board, which basically allows you to do 5 damage. Do 5 damage, roll 5 dice. On these, you get to like throw or retrieve Mjolnir, or whatever it says on there. So there's a few places that say throw and retrieve, even your defense, throw and retrieve. So it's quite cool. There's cards in here that allow you to throw or retrieve, or if you do certain things with Mjolnir, then it gives you boosted abilities, which are quite cool. So that's them. I mean, yeah, as I said, I've already played this. I do find it's a great game, and I've actually played it with both just 2 players and multiple players, so maybe I'll do a review shortly on what I think. So that's what I just wanted to give you, another overview of characters to see what you're getting, instead of just unboxing and say, yeah, it's 8 characters. I want to try and give you my best view of each character before you went out there and purchased them. So yeah, there we go. So that is, use the side of the box here, a Marvel Dice Throne. This is the Kickstarter version. So all the characters came in one box in this special created box where they all just slip in quite nicely. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy the second part of the unboxing of Marvel Dice Throne. Hope it gave you a better idea what the characters are like. I sure now have got a good idea of how the characters work now. I've played it a couple of times. So thank you for watching, and I hope you pick this up if you can, and enjoy it as much as I am. Thank you, and good night.